good, everybody? It's your boy SBX coming back to you with another gaming video. Another gaming review. This time I'm going to talk about is WWE 2K17. Now, I know it dropped last year, and I know the upcoming 2018 2K18 coming out soon with the cover of Seth freaking Rollins. And, I know this game is coming out this fall, and before I reconsider to give you my full opinion about the upcoming game, I need to talk about this current game we have now, which is 2K17. So anywho, let me go ahead and talk about this game. Now, like I said, WWE 2K17 has came out last fall, and so far, I admit that I see that they did some adjustments in the game as far as doing this, like the submissions and and optioning different characters based on legends, and certain people are kind of missing in the game unless you gotta download them. But honestly, in my opinion, this game kind of got me feeling a little uncomfortable playing at first, because it was kind of hard for me to play this game, because I admit I kind of got my ass whooped, and I was wrestling just like Jeff Hardy when he was high in TNA, lost by less than 90 seconds, being pinned, and I didn't know how to kick out or anything, because to be honest, folks, I haven't played any wrestling games for a very, very long time, and I personally never could be good at them when it comes to the 2K series, I mean by that. So I took a long hiatus in playing wrestling games in a very long time. So I did, however, used to play 2K16, and like I said, I really sucked at it. I was hoping that it still had the same gameplay, just like how they had it on SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 07, 06, and all those games, because I was hoping that the gameplay be just like that, but it's almost similar, but this time 2K had pretty much changed a lot based on the gameplay of this game. So, in my opinion, I feel like, like I said, I haven't even played or owned a wrestling game for less than 4 years, and wrestling games has always changed over the decades, and growing up as a kid, I used to play like WWF Attitude and WWF SmackDown games, and little handheld Game Boy games and things of that sort. But honestly, the last time WWE had a great game was when they had the which one? The one with The Rock on it. I know I just gotta be very specific. And Brock Lesnar, Here Comes the Pain. That's what I was thinking of. Like, those were the only two games, like Know Your Role, Just Bring It, and like I said, those games were pretty good. That was the last time WWE had pretty much made a very good game. And Here Comes the Pain had more you can do in this game, and I kind of wish that 2K had used Here Comes the Pain gameplay and still switch it up between how games should look like today, based on the graphics, based on the appearances, and today's wrestlers. You get what I'm saying? So I figure that, like I said, Here Comes the Pain and Know Your Role and those games like that, and Just Bring It were the only best WWE games of all time. However, I do kind of feel nostalgic playing all those games, and I wish they had made a remake, like a remastered version of it, but basically that's out of the question. Or PlayStation Network could reconsider to play it online. How they have the PlayStation 1 and 2 games that you can download onto the PlayStation Network store. So beyond that, like I said, 2K17, like I said, it took me a while to get in the hang of playing this game. And I'm not gonna say I'm the best at it, but you know, I pursue to be a lot better than I was before. Because when I first played it, I sucked at it, and I said, man, fuck this game, I don't even want to play this shit. So I feel like I've kind of thought I wasted my money on buying this game, because you know, y'all know I'm a wrestling fan, and you know, I always have my love and hate for the WWE. So I feel like that's how it is with me. It's like I have a dysfunctional feeling for the WWE. And you know, as far as I like watching wrestling, I don't watch it every single day, but I know what's going on without even watching it. And also the fact that there are some times that I don't want to know what's going on about wrestling games and playing them too much every single day, but I fucks with it. It's kind of like dealing with your dysfunctional family, basically. You love it, but you don't want to fuck with it too much, you know? So anyways, I have to say that the gameplay itself is pretty, you know, like I said, the more I play with it, the more I realize that it's pretty remarkable with the specials and whatever type of match you're dealing with. Like, for instance, let's say you're playing TLC or the ladders match. It's like you can choose between the briefcase from the Money in the Bank, or you can possibly use a title belt if it's like a title belt that is on the line. And you know, I kind of feel like, why can't it just basically be more like how, you know, older generations of games like ladders match, Money in the Bank match, TLC, keep it just like that. I mean, TLC and ladders matches are, you know, separate, but I feel like, why can't Money in the Bank can just be as the same? So, you know, have its own type of match, like what it used to be. But you know, like I said, I guess they're trying to make it seem like they use the briefcase because, you know, if you're not playing as a non-title shot, then you might as well get the briefcase. But it still should be more exciting, you know, because my only opinion is in this game is like, let's say if you're Mr. Money in the Bank and you can hold on to that title, and then what if you thought about trying to cash it in to make it seem just like how you see on the just like how you see in wrestling, you know? But I'm not sure if they do it, but I don't hardly see that ever occurring in video games like this, especially in the older games like the Raw versus SmackDown days. But honestly, this game, like I said, I play with it as much as I can, and I always, you know, wrestle with my boy, the phenomenal AJ Styles. I like to wrestle with Kevin Owens, and you know, legends like Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, you know, people like that. NXT people like You know, I know he's not in NXT no more, but you know, in this game, he's NXT, like Shinsuke Nakamura, you know, Finn Balor, and basically Samoa Joe in them, you know. And I like the fact that in this game, you get to unlock a lot of legends, and I'm not even done downloading. I mean, buying all the legends, because like I said, I don't really have much time playing these games a lot, and time is precious though, folks, and I want to try to make sure that I have a balance on what I'm doing compared to playing this game. So I feel like my favorite matches based on the WWE 2K17 is mostly like TLC, Falls Count Anywhere match, Extreme Rules, and you know, those are the only things that I like. But honestly, what I don't like about this game is that it doesn't have the old ways of playing wrestling games. It's too technical, as in like, you know, you gotta be very quick with your fingers to play this game in order for you to do a reverse, you know? And I figured that, you know, if you're wrestling against your opponent, rather if it's with your friend, it's online, or they're right there with you, it's like, you know, especially if they're pretty skilled at that game, it's like it's very, it brings a lot of competition, which of course it's wrestling and it's competitive. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you gotta be, like I said, you gotta be very quick with your fingers to do the reversals, you know. And like I said, when you do submission holds, I'm glad that you could change it to the button smashing, the old system of how they used to have back in the early wrestling days. And I figured that's the best thing to do. I mean, I think button smashings are the best because, you know, it's more logical to do than just using analog sticks and and other shits that don't make any sense, you know. But as far as the specials goes, I really like how, like I said, the specials are, but I miss the older days where they do the slow motion of doing the specials, like how they did in 2007, 8, or the Here Comes the Pain. You get what I'm saying? Those games, they don't make games like they used to anymore, in my opinion, because like I said, it's like WWE games are too technical, in my opinion, and I feel like we should just play how we used to play and stop changing shit too much. You know, I can understand graphics, but let me get on the graphics though real quick. You know, the graphics are a little, it's, in my opinion, it's a little cakey. What I'm saying, it's like they look so pale, and some characters kind of look kind of weird. Some characters look good and they look just like them, and there's some characters that they don't look right, you know, in the face or whatnot. And I feel like in the older games, like the Raw versus SmackDown games, you know, even though the graphics were a little dark, I feel like it had more details than 2K17, 15, and all those. It's like it's too cakey. You get what I'm saying? And the white people look so pale. The black people look like Mr. Popo. Rather you're playing like as Booker T. Naomi look like the Black Chun-Li from Street Fighters. You know, like, damn, like, that's the thing about making black people in this game. It's like they make them too, their skin don't even look like they're dark skin. Like, I can't be one of those frustrated black people like, oh, I'm not buying this game because they make black people look horrible. They look like jigaboos. But I mean, that's not what I'm trying to go at, you know, because the way it looks, it's kind of hard to make black people's skin textures decent in this game, you know. But like I said, I feel like, you know, the newer generations of wrestling games, like I said, the detail is they make the graphics and the body appearance too shiny, too soft and cake look. And lastly, I would like to say about my cons about this game is that it has glitch issues. Like, it's glitch city when you play 2K17, and I really don't like that, because I feel like the people who made this game didn't get the right time to fix certain things by testing it out or making sure it looks right, because this game is very glitchy than a motherfucker. When you climb up the rings look, you know, the ring ropes are wobbly and it looks retarded when it's shivering. As far as let's say if you fall down, you start looking like you're having a seizure, you know, when you're getting body slammed or fall into the mat or hard on the apron floor, or whatever the case may be. I feel like, you know, that's kind of, you know, unprofessional what 2K has possibly done to develop a game. And as a true gamer, like I said, it's very unprofessional and it looks retarded. And, you know, I feel like sometimes, you know, people cannot, in my opinion, I cannot take this game seriously if they have such glitches like that. I would say that also too, it's like the wrestlers get too tired so soon. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing so much, you gotta make sure that you don't waste all your stamina in this game. Just like the old classic Raw versus SmackDown games. And I feel like, yo, in reality, I feel like, why do wrestlers, I mean, like I said, in wrestling in real life, they don't get tired unless they're getting beat the shit out of and getting slammed a lot. That's when they get tired. But in the video games, they're so tired. Like, they have a stamina of an old man. And imagine sexual intercourse. It will even be worse. And you know what I'm saying? Like, these wrestlers get too damn tired so quickly. But I'm glad that they bring I'm glad that they bring the blood, which that's good. And it's optional to if you rather want to see blood or not. I prefer to see blood because, like I said, I grew up in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. So I want to see blood. You get what I'm saying? So, as far as the Hell in a Cell goes, what you're seeing here is that the Hell in a Cell is not the same anymore. And that's another thing that's a con about that. It's like the Hell in a Cell is not as cool as it was like the early games, like the SmackDown versus Raw versus SmackDown games, or whatever the fuck it's called. You know, and when you fall down from the cell, it's not how it used to be. You get what I'm saying? But it's really awesome how you can fall down through the cell and crash through the table. That I give props for. But the other shit, I don't like it. But they need to bring back the old Hell in a Cell, really, between the new ones and the old ones, in my opinion. And lastly, I feel like they don't have enough characters. I mean, there are a lot in this game, but I feel like they need to bring more. Even if WWE don't want to fuck with Hulk Hogan, I mean, damn it, this guy made history. And of course, I want to see a Chris Benoit. I know he killed his family. I know he killed himself. And this guy was out of his freaking mind. but I still think that he should be in this game. I mean, WWE act like they never had no other history without these guys. You get what I'm saying? So I figure, more character selection. Stop that DLC bullshit too much. And pretty much it. But the divas are on point. Like Sasha Banks, and I love my girl Asuka. That girl's the truth. And Nia Jax, and Natalia, Charlotte Flair. They're basically on the game. But I was hoping that Amber Moon would have been in this game too. But I'm sure she's gonna be in the upcoming 2K18, which is no brainer. Which I hope they probably fuck up her skin color too, being like Midnight Club, black as hell type shit. But anyways, I feel like in this game, of course, you could create your own character, and you have your own story mode, like your own road of your path of being a wrestler. And I'm not knocking that really, because every game we should all have a creative character to become a WWE superstar. And who doesn't, and it's very time consuming, of course. And also you have the Legends mode, and whoever is the Hall of Famer of the games are going to be in it, and then you play as their story, and then you unlock them and get points and da. So of course it's not a problem to have them in the game, but you got other legends that they should have, and of course, they just gonna leave them as people to download. So in my opinion, if I have to rate this game, if I really sucked at the game and I was being a bitter person, I would have gave it a fucking 4 out of 10. But since I got better at it, I might as well give it a 7.9 out of 10. In my opinion, because I'm just now learning how to play this game a lot better. And also, I like to be more nostalgic on the older wrestling games, and like between the old classic SmackDown vs. Raw games and basically the WWF SmackDown games, like Know Your Role, Shut Your Mouth, Here Comes the Pain. Those games will forever be better than all those. Rather if it's like the old classic, basically Nintendo version of the games, or PlayStation 1, Xbox One, or any of the games. Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth is the best. I would not exaggerate anymore, but those were the best wrestling games ever. And honestly, WWE made good games over the years, and they also made some shitty games. And I used to own like WWF Attitude for the PlayStation 1 days, and I personally hated that game. This game sucks more dick than the prostitute. This game sucks so hard I even get a blowjob from it. I kind of wanted to, like, I hate back in the 90s, wrestling games want to look like Mortal Kombat or some shit like that, and want to look like some anorexic ass motherfuckers when you play Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and things of that sort. And like I said, I really did not like the fact that those games really sucked. And I will say that WWE games have its good moments and it definitely have its bad. But right, like today's generation of games, like the 2K, it's like half and half. You know, it's not the best, but it could have been worse. So everybody's gonna have their own opinion, rather it's biased or legitimately for real. I really would not care because I always stick to my opinions about games. And I wouldn't even say it sucked. I will admit that I sucked in this game, but I got better at it. So, really, if you are not a person that you are familiar with this game, I would highly suggest y'all to start out on easy. So that way you will know for sure how to play this game, play with it a little bit. Like, you know, for example, do a little bit of punching, a little kicking, a little running, press some buttons to make it seem like, you know, what shit is. So the more you do it, the more better you get. And I feel like, you know, if you feel like you're at the point where, you know, you're not really getting too much damage and you see a lot more of the specials and finishers, you already know to tap in that button. So anyways, folks, I'm done here. Comment, like, and subscribe. SBX, wrapping this up. Thanks for watching. Peace out.